Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review and another Niederbayern Zwick'l. This one is from Landshuter Brauhaus, located in the town Landshut, of course, in western Niederbayern, and it comes in this Bio-bier bottle, as you can see. And it's a beer that I've been looking forward to a lot, of course. Always right time for Niederbayern Zwick'l and the Zwick'l in general. Very interesting beer style, and actually one of my favorite beer styles at the moment, a Zwick'l, a fantastic Zwick'l, which is almost like a killer beer. There are some small differences as far as I understand, but I don't know exactly what differences there are between a Zwick'l and a killer beer. Comment down below if you know regarding brewing process and so on. But Landshuter Brauhaus comes from the town Landshut, as I mentioned, in Niederbayern. And that there is one other brewery from the town that's called Zwick'l, and I'm searching for a beer from that brewery at the moment. But the Zwick'l from Landshuter Brauhaus comes in this Bio-bier bottle, as I mentioned, and there are several benefits with that, comparing to the more normal crown cap bottles that we see often today. This is a little bit funnier to open. Also, it helps the beer to be kept fresh, and also, of course, it's an older opening way comparing to the crown cap. So always fun with the brewers that still are going for the Bio-bier bottle, the traditional bottles, even though these ones are more expensive compared to the more modern crown cap bottles. Anyway. Let's start with taking a look at the label. Here you see the top label, Bio-bier, and here is the main label, Zwick'l Bio-bier from Landshuter Brauhaus. And this is actually one of the best looking labels that I've had on the channel, to be honest. Here you see the back label. Of course I'm going to read through the information from that later on in the review, but I mean, look at this label. Isn't this looking perfect? A great looking label with all the color combination, real traditional and beautiful looking label. I mean, I can't look at this label too many times. Zwick'l Bio-bier, finally it's here on the channel. So let's open up the bottle with the Bio-bier and the plop. There we have it, and let's pour it up into the further beer style well-fitting glass. Of course, always important to use the right type of glass for the beer style, and in this case I have been choosing this glass, the Krug looking glass, because it's a type of glass that I think fits really well for most Bavarian beer styles, and it really helps the right aromas to be unleashed with the pouring. Creating a big foam head is of course important to unleash the right flavors. And also here you see a nice 2-finger thick white foam crown. At this one, for example, a closer look at the foam I can show to you, and that's looking like a really great looking Zwick'l, and of course cloudy, hard to see through. Quite in the middle between pale and dark, I would say. Let's get the aroma, which is very refreshing, as the Zwick'l should be. I should also mention that I like to keep the foam head all the way through while I drink, because it keeps the right taste in the glass. There we have it all into the glass, which is important of course. And here we put the bottle of Landshuter Brauhaus Zwick'l beer. Now let's give it a try, the Landshuter Brauhaus Zwick'l beer. Prost! Yeah, of course, extremely fresh and nice. This one having the typical freshness that Zwick'ls and killer beers is having, in my opinion. Something very special, well balanced between the raw materials. high quality raw materials, high quality brewing process. That's something that's easy to feel for me in the taste. So it's of course a big recommendation, even though if you're interested or into Zwick'ls and Bio-biers, which I wasn't while I started the channel, but while I was going forward to more breweries after another, it really opened up my eyes for this world of beer styles that is, for example, Zwick'l and Bio-biers, that I really found quite fast as a favorite because of the very special Bio-bier flavor, the Bio flavor of them, as I can call it. But this is a really special one, and of course the label catches the interests, of course, at least for me. So looking perfect. This label, great looking one in my opinion. Really hope that you can find it as well. Let's take a look at it. Zwick'l Bio-bier. Alle Rohstoffe stammen aus kontrolliertem biologischen Anbau. Gebaut nach dem Landshuter Reinheitsgebot von 1493. Seit 1493 Landshuter Brauhaus. Deutsche Landwirtschaft. So they're having quite many logos, Naturland and Bio and die Öko, Deutsche Landwirtschaft. Quite many logos that shows that they're keeping biological growing for all the raw materials they're using. Zwick'l Bio-bier. Das mildwürzige Bier wird ungefiltert und naturtrüb in Flasche und Fass abgefüllt. Zutaten: Wasser, Biogerstenmalz, Biohopfen, Hefe, bayerisches Bier. Landshuter Brauhaus, Privatbrauerei, Boulevard Straße 6, 84028, Landshut, Germany. Alcohol content 5.6% volume, which is quite normal for the style. This Zwick'l and Bio-bier is a little bit stronger compared to the normal Helles lager. But let's take a look at one of the books about Bavarian brews that I'm having. As you know, if you follow my channel since before, you do not know that Bavarian brews is my big interest at the moment. I'm having this book right here by Markus Raupasch. Here it's the Landshuter Brauhaus, where it's located in Bavaria, the heart of Bavaria, I would say. The information is Landshuter Brauhaus Hell, 4.8% volume is the recommendation. Landshut, Niederbayern. Landshuter Brauhaus AG, Privatbrauerei, landshuterbrauhaus.com.de is the website, which I'll of course link to in the description box below. 1493, Stefan Blininger, Boulevard 6 in Landshut, Gasthaus zum Freischütz. Yep. That's information from that book. Yeah, gives a really great impression. As I mentioned, I'm gonna read through some information from this brewer's website also. Can't think that that's quite fun to do. Here we have Landshuter Brauhaus and information that is: when the Landshuter brewery in its current legal form emerged in 1923 from a merger of two friendly brewing families, Koller and Fleischmann, it was a stroke of luck, wise foresight. Two great traditional brewers were able to bring their strengths to bear and steer Landshut brewery through turbulent times, times in which the Landshut brewing industry shrank from 12 to 4 operations, in which inflation, war and currency reform had to be survived. When that was all over, both families gave the Landshuter brewery the decisive impetus for a successful future in the economic recovery. In the 1960s in particular, heavy investments were made to continuously and time again revitalize the sophisticated combination of tradition and modernity. A wonderful and at the freshest example, the introduction of the new Bio-bier, whose name and symbol are based on the history of the city Landshut, already with its first brew from the copper brewery. it became another prominent history of the company. After a turbulent year in 2018, the majority shares in the brewery passed down to the Elo family, who now want to lead the business into a successful future with new impulses and fresh ideas, but with sensitivity and a sense of tradition, so you can look back on a proud and long history from Paul Bamberger in 1493 to Kolo family 1848 to 2018. Today, the Landshut brewery is still an owner-management, home-based, tradition-conscious, but at the same time modern, medium-sized company that lives on its centuries-old beer culture with a lot of commitment and investments in the production and branding, likable and desirable, self-confident, and sometimes a little cheeky. This is how the Landshut beer specialties are carried into the next generations. In other words, to your well-being and the next 500 years. Sounds great, of course. I think that's it for now regarding Landshut Brauhaus. Hope you like my reviews and see you again in next Bavarian beer review.